Hello everybody. Today I will be covering a few attacks in the high 1400s VP range in Boom Beach. These attacks will include defeating the number one player's base as well as a few other high players. So we'll be starting with this one today. This player, you can see on the leaderboard, I think they're in the 40s right now. Their little insignia signifies, I think, 56 days holding number one. So, yeah, um, they don't have much ice. They do have some ice. Actually, they don't have any ice. So this is a good base to start off on. Um, and this week I wanted to showcase the Rocket Choppa attacks um, before they, leave. So I think the best strategy for Rocket Choppas at high levels with a lot of ice, this base doesn't have much ice, um, is to use Scorchers with them or some other thing that's fast enough to tank in front of them. Ignore that notification. I forgot to put on Do Not Disturb. And yeah, this base was not that hard. Good introduction. And yeah, as for the hero you want to use, I suggest using Bullet with Shock Knuckles for the easiest time. Pretty much covers any type of base you can face most easily. Um, and yeah, we'll move on to this next attack here. This base has 6 boosted ice statues, so definitely a lot harder than last time. I usually start off with a spread of 5 boats of Scorchers, and when I'm boosted, I can only drop 2 more boats of the Rocket Choppas and then 1 more delayed after I take out 2 buildings. And yeah, this is my usual attack. The first attack that I showed was an outlier. I decided to place Bullet first with the Rocket Choppas behind to gather more GBE to drop the Scorchers. So basically what you want to do is mainly keep the Boom Cannon shocked, keep the Rocket Choppas behind the Scorchers, obviously, like any old attack in this game. And I like to keep the shock launchers and shock blasters shocked as well, if I can get a combination shock. So like right here, being able to shock 2 or 3 sniper towers with a boom cannon and shock launcher is very good value there. Cannons aren't that big of an issue. They should go down faster, have shorter range. And yeah, in the end, you just want your Rocket Choppas really focused on the HQ as the Scorchers clean up the base. I flared in front of the HQ here just to bring them all together and so that the Scorchers can tank again from the rocket launcher so the rocket launcher doesn't pick off my Rocket Choppas. Another hero you could use is Everspark, the only other really practical hero. That would be for a base that's like heavy in boom cannons or maybe laser beams or maybe some damage amplified boom cannons and cannons just to keep those critters moving out. That would take a little bit more skill than just dropping bullet. So this is the current number one player in the world, and I probably wouldn't be able to take out his base otherwise without the Rocket Choppas. As you can see, full 8 boosted ice statues. So with this, I just do my usual drop, the spread of 5 Scorcher boats in the front, and then dropping in the Rocket Choppas behind. This time I opted to use Shock Knuckles before dropping the last boat just to get that big group of cannons and boom cannons shocked early on, as well as get Bullet out in front. Shock Knuckles is really the only practical ability to use for this strategy because Bullet rarely ever dies or gets out in front. Shock Knuckles helps him get out in front. Taunt won't be very useful because he won't be taunting much. I guess right here he'll be taunting a boom cannon and a rocket launcher, but really that doesn't make much of a difference. And Energy drink you only want to use if Bullet is in really the face of danger and has a risk of dying. In this, I don't think I've had a single even Scorcher attack where Bullet has died. He's usually, if I fail the attack, he's usually the last one to die after all the Scorchers. So that's not that big of a deal. Um, so yeah, it's a pretty lazy attack strategy. It's really useful for upper level players who have max landing crafts because you can now have two Rocket Choppas in each boat. Um, as you can see, I just took out the number one player's base without much thought into it. This attack was extremely sloppy. I could have probably saved more Scorchers and had less casualties, but yeah, this just shows how easy it is. Um, Another easy one here. I didn't lose any troops in this one. This guy had just two unboosted ice statues, it looks like. Um, so yeah, pretty easy one here, pretty standard. The spread of the five Scorcher boats. And this time I put only one boat of Rocket Choppas in behind because I figured the Scorchers want to be spreading out very soon, very early on. So I didn't want the Rocket Choppas getting caught behind or getting caught not behind any Scorchers. And also here I flared off to the left just to avoid really this boom cannon and all this junk over here. Kind of trying to make it quicker too. And as always, I keep keeping things shocked. The shock launcher, not the shock launcher, the shock bombs are going to be your best friend with this attack and Scorcher attacks in general. Critters are also really useful to drop them on top of cannons, boom cannons, or near machine guns. Machine guns can actually melt Scorchers pretty fast, faster than you would expect. So far, our last attack today, I'll be showing this one. This is a front-loaded base. I'm going to show an example of this too. So front-loaded bases usually have more heat on the beach, really hot beach. This one isn't that hot. It is covered by rocket launchers, three boom cannons, and a laser beam, which can be problematic. The laser beam can damage Rocket Choppas. If you noticed in one of my past attacks, I think it was in against the number one player. So watch out for that. They won't kill your Rocket Choppers. You just see that one went down to like 10% health just from one beam. So just they're not a huge threat, not as big as a threat as boom cannons or doom cannons, obviously, but still keep an eye out. Usually get a good angle on it. So like if it's targeting one on the far left, it'll only hit that one. Like see, that's an ideal laser beam angle. And yeah, this one was pretty sloppy too. Even with how sloppy these attacks are, you can see how easy it is to take down bases if you have enough gold in the reserves just to keep on reinforcing these guys. Rocket Choppas with being able to hold two in each boat are pretty expensive. They're more expensive than a single Scorcher, or a single Rocket Choppa is more expensive than a single Scorcher. So I think it's the most expensive troop in the game. I accidentally did the thing. Okay, so yeah, the first one I showed, I think, is this guy right here. I don't speak Chinese or read Chinese if this is Chinese or not. So this guy, he most likely took his ice away from when he held number one for a while. And of course, oh, ignore that as well. I took out this player too, who is holding convincingly the number one spot in the world. Just to check up on me, I've been pushing for about 4 months now, like seriously pushing, which is like buying instant training, boosting ice, and clearing my map with a full boost almost every day. I don't always do a full boost. It depends on what kind of extra things we have, like Rocket Choppas or the speed serum. So I'm at 422 right now, global. US, I've been stuck in like the 60s for a month. It's really hard to get up. And yeah, I've had a problem this past week. I know you guys don't want to hear about my problems, but it seems like I've been getting rated more than I can even get player bases to load on my map. I've had like the full odds up the whole time, and I still only get one player base spawned within a few hours of waiting. But I did just um, remove one troop damage guardian and put in another building damage guardian. I don't have enough building health guardians to really um, stop it. Many good players, but I surprisingly was able to stop a good amount of players, a good amount of handful, a good amount of handful. I guess it's kind of redundant and repetitive. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for today, guys. And thank you for watching. And please leave any comments, criticisms, tips. Ask me any questions in the comments below. And yeah, thank you.